gosh.
And I want to add something before that, but go ahead.
Before.
I mean, after that, between uh, Adrian and you.
Okay. Disclaimer. Ugh. The following webinars and posts will include the personal testimonials of some coaches of Optavia. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting any weight loss program.
Okay, and that's kind of what I wanted to say before Adrian starts. Is if you're starting out, check with a doctor before you do a lot of exercise and lose a little bit of weight and doing it slowly so you don't end up taking a heart attack. It'd be bummer to be skinny and then have a heart attack. There's just something wrong about that, you know? Okay, so Adrian, can you take over?
I will take over. I'm going to share my screen. All right, so we are talking tonight about Element 18. Exercise is your gift to yourself. So the last time I presented, I really do like to do interactive. I'm not I want to talk the whole time person. So and because we're a small group, it's kind of fun, I think. Do you already exercise? Does anybody already do exercising? I think Mary's starting to get out there a little bit.
Oh, if you mean walking is exercising, yes.
Yes, walking is exercising.
And I do this. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, some weights.
Well, I'm talking to someone on the phone. If you ever hear me breathing heavy on the phone, you're not exciting me. I'm just doing this.
I mow
Great.
my lawn once a week. That's my exercise.
Oh wow, that's hard. It makes you sweat as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know,
so,
Deb. You move quite a bit.
Yeah, you're blowing us out of the Fitbit water.
You know, I've had family over this last week, and so I've had to, and I'm also taking care of my brother's kids. So kids kind of make you have to get up and move around. So, yeah.
all right, so a little bit of exercise. So tonight we're going to talk about NEAT versus EAT, the 3 core goals of the habits of motion system, what a typical each week should look like, transformational cycle, and action steps. All right, so I haven't been on a book club for a while, so I apologize. School was meeting on the same night, so I just wasn't able to. But last week, did you guys cover Element 17?
Yeah.
And did we talk about what NEAT is? So it's basically, it's just any kind of moving that you incorporate into your day, like chores, like what Deb was saying, mowing the lawn, although mowing the lawn could actually be considered exercise, but dancing while you're doing dishes, just adding motion to your day. I think Dr. A suggests things like if you're going food shopping, park all the way at the end of the parking lot to go to pick, to the store, just anything to add, and then to be intentional about that. And I think that's the big part, is to be intentional about and schedule your NEAT exercise daily, like have it as kind of a routine. All right, so in versus EAT, and EAT is planned physical exercise that's performed as 30 minutes or more a day, and it increases our energy and it improves our overall fitness. And so again, it's over 30 minutes of moderate exercise, and he suggests that after you've been doing the program for think 4 weeks that you start to do more of the NEAT, you incorporate the NEAT, and then once you have the NEAT in your everyday, and you have about, I think it's 10,000 steps. I didn't find this in the book, but this is what I heard somebody say. You either have 10,000 steps a day or 20,000 steps in a week. Then you start incorporating the EAT into your everyday. Yeah, your everyday. So it's 6 out of 7 days a week that you're looking at doing some EAT exercise, which I do find it funny that they call it EAT because I don't know, it's, I think of food rather than exercise. All right, so 3 core goals of the system is to increase your expenditure, to optimize your cardio health, so your heart health, and to have a healthy bone system for your bones to become healthier. Again, so if you're exercising, I have to throw some other stuff in here because I could go, this is going to take about 30 seconds. And I did prepare for this. So how much exercise are you guys doing every week, even if it's just the NEAT exercise? So like, one of the things that he said, and I have coached some of my clients, like walking up the stairs, doing 4 stair rows in a row, or Mary, like I know just even your muscle, your weights, how much exercise would you say that you're getting in weekly?
With that, just a couple times on the phone, so not nearly enough. But Deb and I are walking about 10 minutes every day. I know that's not a lot, but we're both old. And not, I've been a slug for the last 20 years. So that's like, I'm tired when I come home. I'm like, I want to go into a coma. So that doesn't seem like a lot, but like you were saying, it's okay to start slow.
Right.
Where you're at. And yep. we've taken that to heart.
Right. Yeah,
I mean, started walking ours also.
I'm sorry, who is, I can't.
It's Bev. So
Hi,
I
Bev.
started walking also. I've been walking roughly about a mile, 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay. That's awesome. Yeah, starting slow is really, and having a goal and being the thing that I love about Optavia is the whole mindset of being intentional. So even if you start out on, Sunday night or whatever day you do your planning, thinking, okay, how can I fit my exercise into my day? And then just doing that. And then like he does suggest, so once you get, I would say, to 20 minutes of the NEAT or just even exercise, and you can start increasing and going to, these are the 3 progressive levels of EAT. I still laugh when I say EAT when I'm talking about exercise. So it's the level, first one is walking in a fitness program. So you're adding that in, and then the resistance, which is the strength training type of stuff, and then HIIT, which I will honestly say, I don't know if I'll ever get there. I'm sure I will, but that to me seems like walking for 20 minutes for Mary. I think HIIT. And it's like today I took, and I do at least 20 minutes of exercise every day. Usually more. I go for walks, and I don't take really strenuous walks there. I'm most of the time with my family, so they're slow, very sluggish walks sometimes. And then, yesterday we went to, it's a place where there's lots of rocks, so the kids were climbing on rocks. And there are times where I'm like, all right, you guys catch up with me because this is my exercise and I do want to get my heart rate up a little bit. And other times where I'm like, oh, that's a great waterfall and I want to enjoy that a little bit. So it depends on what I'm doing and how much activity I always walk at least 20 minutes, but sometimes it's 2 hours or an hour, but that may only be 4 miles in 2 hours, which is not very far. But today I actually am, one of my goals, and I am setting goals, is to do a mountain, a good sized mountain in the fall. And I was thinking one that I thought would be really strenuous, but I actually don't think it's going to be as strenuous now that, because today I did a smaller mountain to kind of, oh, how will I do? And I think I could actually do that mountain today. So, so I'm gonna have to look at a bigger mountain, which is fine. It's kind of neat to see the progression, but I did do, and it was an hour and 50, but I'm wearing myself out, but I also wear my children out, which is really nice. But so that's almost like a HIIT exercise for me. Are you guys familiar with what HIIT is? Anybody?
Can I ask you a question, Adrian?
Yep.
Just so, because you were saying like to plan out your exercise and stuff, do you go like at the same time every day, or do you just, whenever you wake up, you see where you can fit it in, or do you plan it the night before when you're going?
I actually do typically plan it at the beginning of the week. Like I know that we're gonna have I'm trying to think of what my week looked. So I planned a couple of hikes this week because I knew I was going to have a friend's son with us. But I do, like, at the beginning of the week, I look at the week and say, all right, this is going to be a busy week, so I can fit it in here. If I wait until the morning of, or if I'm really busy, there are days when I'm really busy. Those are the days that I end up just walking in my house and not getting very much in. But I always do. You guys, I heard you guys talking about a Fitbit. So I do have my tracker, and I try to make sure that I get, my low number is 6,000. In the summer, I really want to try and get 10,000. That's actually Dr. A suggests trying to get 10,000 steps a day. Those are usually my high days. So I'm not really sure how I could stretch that. Like today with the big hike that we went on, I'm at almost 12,000. So it really just, that's I think a high achievement for really active people. Does that make sense, Andrew? Did that answer your question?
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. So a high intensity interval training, that's called HIIT exercise, does anybody know what that is? Probably maybe not doing it, but so it is like doing intervals. So running really fast for 10 seconds, and then walking for 15 seconds, and then increasing that steadily. And that's over a shorter period of time, and then adding other activities into that. So it's really doing my husband, he is an exercise guru. He is a fitness guy. He does it. We have a Peloton. He goes on the Peloton and he takes those, and you can hear his heavy breathing, and then it kind of comes off. And that's what a level 3 is, and that's what our goal is. And the reason for that is to work on what our overall goal is, and that's to optimize the heart. So this is what Dr. A suggests for, so the NEAT system, again, is just doing flights of stairs, but kind of planning it out. Like, what am I going to do today? And it's just to kind of fit it into everyday living and trying to make sure that you get that done. And he does say that even if you do your 30 minutes of exercise, you should still be doing whatever your NEAT exercise is. So it's not a substitute to the NEAT exercise. It's along with it. So he would like to see us doing the stretching, or the what do you call it, the slide, sorry, the resistance or the strength training twice a week. So it's not every day, which actually for me, I haven't started this at all. And I thought about it. I had started a program a little bit, but it's really daunting for me anyways, because you're adding more time into your already busy schedule. That's how I think of things. But because he's saying you only do it twice a week, I can do this. You can do an upper body and a lower body, or there are like whole body programs that you're sculpting out the whole body. And then you do that for slowly, again, a slow progress. And in the book, he does give exercise suggestions that I didn't plan out here, but I like, I don't know, if you're doing your arms, you know, you do 10 reps, not 10 reps, 3 reps of your arms, and then, you know, biceps, triceps, and, you know, you do that. And then you increase like 3 reps 5 times. I'm just throwing numbers out there because I'm not looking at it. And then you increase that. You want to do 3 reps 10 times and 3 reps 15 times. And then you increase weights on top of that. But you're only doing that again twice a week. And then but you are going to continue doing a moderate exercise of walking, or, you know, if you are a person that really want to start really challenging yourself, like challenge yourself to do a 5K. I know that that's one of the things that he suggests later on, you know, and then start training for something like a 5K or a marathon. Not me, triathlon. Maybe I have done that, but those are kind of scary. But he does really talk about just because we're looking at long term and not just the moment in the moment. All right, and so this is, I have to find my slide. The transformational cycle, which is he's saying using our cues. So one of the cues would be, well, I think starting off even just having your plan for your week, but then what time of day you're going to do it. First thing in the morning. Okay, so lay your clothes out, you get up, you put your clothes on, and then you start getting into a routine and a habit of doing that. And then what is the instant reward is, you know, you have extra energy, and you do end up having extra energy, which is surprising. But then the long term is obviously the health. So the final slide here is you're taking your action steps. So they have a lot of resources, not on the Answer Optavia, on the healthy habits. So they do have like the neat, here, let me see if I can pull up. All right, so this is a full guide on the NEAT workouts, and then they have a couple for the EAT exercise, so a tracker for both the EAT and the NEAT, and then they also have a whole habits of health about just the EAT program. So this is a great resource to look at. But talk to your coach about like what you want to incorporate, and then just keep going back to this element if you want to do it. So I mean, I highly suggest like just giving yourself a small goal, like Mary said, or even Bev was saying, 3 times a week, starting off a mile. So just that I've done this a number of times, not just different challenges. So I have done my first challenge, or my challenge is to exercise for 365 days, and that's 20 minutes or more. But I only when I have a really stressful day of a lot of school will I only do 20 minutes, and that's not very often. I pretty much get out and do exercise at least 5 days a week. I get out there and do exercise, but I am doing some kind of walking in my neighborhood or something any other day. But giving yourself some kind of a goal or some kind of a challenge to do something every day. All right, that is all I have. I hope that was helpful. I feel like it was so fast.
Very much so.
Can we talk about like, okay, so I mean, I know you're saying that you plan kind of like your week ahead of time. What are some other things that you do to like make sure you're prepared and like you don't have a bunch of excuses, you know? Because I'm like, literally, this is like so inspiring to me that you're doing this every day. And, obviously, like sometimes you have to walk around your house or your neighborhood or whatever, and plans change. But like, are there any specific things that you do to make sure that you're prepared so that your excuses are more limited?
Yeah, just 1 second. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Can I say something while I think she's going to correct
Yeah.
a kid or something. Deb and I started, and from the first day that we started, 5 days a week, we have not missed a day. Quite frankly, not so much now, but the first 2 weeks, I would rather somebody pull my tongue out of my face than to go meet Deb. Not that I don't like Deb, because I love Deb. And a
Yeah.
couple times it was pouring down rain, and we were so badly out of shape, there's no way we could walk between the raindrops. So what we did is we just went from where our cars were parked to there, but we showed up anyhow. So we know come
Yeah.
hell or high water, we're going to show up at 10 o'clock in the morning, even if it's raining, snowing, whatever, we're going to do that. And after you do that, the hardest part about exercise is getting your butt out of the door, right?
Yep.
So if you know you're going to do that every day, even if you don't, in the first, how many days was it, Deb, that we didn't hardly walk at all? Do you remember?
I think it was like the first week, I think 4 out of the 5 days was rain.
Yeah, pouring rain, and we don't want to walk in the rain,
Right.
So we just walked to the canopy, and we were talking like, what, Deb, maybe 20 steps or something like that.
Something like that.
We showed up, and you'd be surprised. I think that's the only reason why we stuck with it. If we had said, nah, we're not going to do it today, then it's easier and easier to find an excuse.
Yep. So I agree with that. The other thing, Angie, is enlisting your kids is huge. Like my kids, we finding a spot that everybody loves. So we have a park that's not that far from us. It's kind of like a park that has a playground.
You're muted.
I think she's talking to someone.
Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
there was a child who was doing something they weren't supposed to. So if finding a place that maybe they can play in the playground while you walk around the playground, or this particular park is not that far from us, so we just started driving there, and now we actually walk to the park, and then we walk around the park, and there are lots of different trails, and I would never even think about doing a trail before. Now I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. And as we're losing the weight, we feel so much different. The chasm that we went to yesterday with all the rocks, I'd never been through. I've been there a number of times, but I'd never been through the chasm. Probably had little babies that I didn't want to go through there either, but it was also, I didn't want to break my legs walking on those rocks. You feel, and today I felt, you do get this feeling of exhilaration, like walking that mountain today. The kids were like running far ahead of me, which is part of why they were exhausted, but I didn't care. I was happy to be in there. I was happy to walk it, and I just felt amazing. Just being able to walking the rocks, like knowing how to walk back and forth on it, just was exhilarating. It really was. It feels good. And so enlisting the kids to like do these things with you, and that my kids are like proud that I can walk and hike, not just walk the path anymore, go through and do the trails also. So I think that's one thing. But what Mary said also, nobody, even like athletes, most of the time don't really want to get up and start doing it. The first step is just doing it. And then after you do it and consistently do it, you do feel the difference and you want to do it.
That makes me think of, I think I've seen like what do they call it? Like a meme or a quote or whatever, people posting that they have to exercise first thing in the morning before their brain wakes up, or their mind will tell them not to go. So yeah, but I love that, getting the kids involved, because they hold you accountable, right? Like they'll be like, okay, Mom, when's our walk or whatever, I'm sure, what time, where are we going today, right?
Yep, exactly. They do.
So that's good. I mean, and having a partner, I know Mary walking with Deb is probably, you know, you guys hold each other accountable. So that's awesome to get I think that's huge. Another thing I think I remember talking about with somebody once is that you got to find an exercise that you love. Like you were saying, like that was so exhilarating for you to be like walking on the rocks and everything. Like you have to find something you like or you're not going to want to do it, right?
Right.
And like sometimes that's hard because we don't like love exercise. You don't really love it until after you start doing it, right? And then you get that, like you were saying, you get that like adrenaline rush and that boost and you feel good after. But I don't know, I think you have to find something that you like, and it's going to be different for everybody. So probably try all different kinds of things. Like I've never really been a hiker, but like you make me want to go hike, you know? And I know that Amy, she's not here tonight, but she's been hiking too. And when she posts pictures of just like the beauty around her, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll be a hiker. So
Robin just posted some pictures of a hike too, which was really cool.
Yeah.
It's just starting to walk. I mean, I think that's why Dr. A says walking, anybody can do it. It's not really painful and it's just movement. And a lot of people get different things, but I can totally clear my mind when I walk. Although I will say that I do know people who hate to walk because it doesn't get you very far, very fast. I love that about it. So people who are total runners, I'm not a runner. My husband's a runner. I prefer to like walk and just think, and I get a lot done just in my head when I walk, or I can listen to, I can listen to my school books. I can, whatever. There's a lot that you can do, but I know some people like my daughter and my husband are like, I don't get anywhere when I walk. I don't want to walk anywhere.
I have a question. Hi, Mary. It's Emma, by the way. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Emma.
Hi. I was trying to work out for like a good month, and this is gonna be kind of like weird to say, but like I kept getting bored. Is there a way that like you can keep it kind of interesting where it's kind of like I want to stick with it, but then I don't see results right away, and I'm like, it takes up time in my day. How do you keep it exciting and interesting?
Richard Simmons when you need him.
So I think what Angie was saying is finding something that you enjoy. So Richard Simmons is entertaining. Yes, there are a lot of different types of, there's aerobic exercise, there's swimming, finding something that intrigues you and interests you, or do like listening to music, or there's a lot of different things that you can do.
Yeah, one day Deb couldn't make it. I can't remember why. So I went myself and I listened to music, and I rather talk to Deb because she's more interesting than music, but I thought I was going to be bored out of my skull. Not that I take that much time to walk, but I listened to music and that made it better.
Yeah, I agree with that. Actually, I was starting to listen to music, but for some reason I still got out of it.
I haven't done it. I've listened to podcasts from my computer while I'm doing stuff in my kitchen, but my kids actually have the gadget on their phones and will listen to podcasts when they're driving or when they're walking. And so finding something that you're really interested in, like that, like Mary had her music, but there's also podcasts that you can take with you if you have to do it alone, or if you do find a video of Richard Simmons or somebody that you find entertaining, that knows what they're doing and you can follow along with it. Because and you have to be careful, because I did Zumba after I had knee surgery. This is about 6-7 years ago. Or I ended up having to have knee surgery from doing Zumba.
Wow.
Is actually what I was trying to say. And I was like, I was working through my pain. It's like, just keep going, keep going. And so when Angie says, when you feel pain, you need to stop because your body's telling you stop. So that was something that I thought, oh, thank you, Angie. Where were you 6 years ago?
Oh, I know. I have a like chronic bursitis in my hip because I was a runner. Also, I didn't run full marathons, but I ran half marathons. And I was stubborn, and because I was ready and I had been training for months and months, I would just keep going and run these races, when I should have listened to my body. And but yeah, so now I'm a firm believer of, you can exercise through a little discomfort, but not pain. Like if it's painful, you stop because the long-term effects. We think we're invincible when we're younger, right? I was like pregnant and in my 30s and feeling good, and I'm like, I'll just run, I'll just keep running. And now I'm like, I wish I wouldn't have, because I'd love to do a 5K or something right now with my daughter, and I'm like, I just can't. But I was gonna ask Emma, like, what kind of exercise are you doing that bored you?
Well, I was starting to do a little bit of yoga, and I did that just like in the beginning, and then my mom had a Pilates machine up in our attic, so I was doing.
Oh.
So I mean, I enjoyed it in a way, but then I was also bored in another way. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah. Well, yeah, yoga, I think you have to be in the mood for it, right? So maybe do like a couple different kinds of exercise when I don't know what kind of music do you like to listen to, but
pretty much all kinds.
Yeah. So like whatever you're in the mood for, do if you want something more calming and relaxing, do the yoga. Sorry, I don't know why my thing keeps freezing. But yeah, and then I always like to do things like more upbeat if I have more energy, or if I'm overwhelmed and I need to get some, blow some steam off. I do like a different kind of exercise, but maybe just changing it up.
Yeah, that's
so that
a good idea. Thank you.
Yeah, like do yoga one day and then maybe dance aerobics the next day, or walking the next day, changing it up maybe.
I actually love dancing too, and I was more active like last summer because I was out performing and stuff and dancing, but now it's like with the COVID,
nice.
I've been not very active.
Yeah, it's been hard, but yeah, dancing I feel like is an amazing form of exercise, and I didn't really ever think so until my daughter started doing the TikTok challenges and dances. And so I know they're just quick and short, but when she teaches them to me, I have to do it over and over and over to practice before I'm, comfortable enough to record. And that really works up a sweat. That's a workout.
Yeah, it is.
And it's fun, right? So.
True.
Yeah.
There are lots of YouTube videos that do dances and stuff too. So, I mean, it is really just finding what it is that you enjoy doing. It doesn't have to be for a super long time in the beginning. You just want to take it where you need it to be. So like Mary said, she's doing 10 minutes, start with 10 minutes a day and then move up from there.
Nicole does Just Dance. I don't know if you ever heard of that or not. And I was doing
Oh, I forgot about that. That's so fun.
Is that a video game?
Sort of, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think, because I have Rock Band for my kids, but I think I got a dance mat with something for them too. Is that what you do, Nicole? Oh, I'll have to dig that out. That sounds fun.
They also, for someone who doesn't have video stuff, because I don't, I'm sending you a link where they have it on YouTube. You won't have a thing that they'll give you a score, but you can still do the moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do Just Dance with my daughters, and it's fun because then we like go against each other and try to win, and and then you can pick those songs, and it's fun.
Yeah. I think it's important to find exercise that's fun, or like like Emma said, we'll just get bored and we'll be unmotivated. So you guys are exciting me. I want to go on a hike and I want to dance.
Well, something that I've done in the past, I haven't done it lately, but when the weather's bad here, you know, in the wintertime and stuff, I will take my tablet and bring up YouTube, and I will find a video that I might be interested in, you know, depending on the length of it. And I prop it up on my treadmill, and then I get my treadmill going and I'll watch something just to keep me happy,
Mm-hmm.
to keep me going. It's like I have to go to the end of this video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Let's see. Somebody's.
I would like to say something that has nothing to do with this really, but since we were talking about Richard Simmons, I think Deb mentioned it. I actually talked to him on the phone. He called me one time.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, when I was about 24, 25 years old, my mom had written to him and said, I'm so worried about my daughter. She's obese and all this other stuff. And the phone rang. I says, hello. And he goes, this is Richard Simmons. I said, yeah, right. He said, no. He says, it's really, he says, you're from Patton. I said, yeah. So I still didn't believe him. He said, your mother wrote me. And he read part of the letter. He had the letter there. Sweetest man you'd ever want to meet. I'm telling you. And he sent me something called a dealer meal that you would like, you ate so much, like they give you like green beans or whatever, and you had to move it from side to side. And videotapes. And that year he sent me a Christmas card. Really a sweet man.
Oh.
wow.
Yeah. It didn't work, but he's a sweet man.
Well, that comes.
Yeah.
I think that comes through when he had his show on. I used to watch his show. I never exercised, but I would watch it. But just watching his kindness with everybody, and then when he would go on shows and, you know, talk to people they would bring on who was having problems, and just watching the love come out of him, because he was there and he feels it, because he knows what it was like. He doesn't want to go back. So I'm glad you got to have that experience.
I did.
Yeah,
And he's such a sweet man. I mean, he's as sweet as he is on TV because no one else was listening in. So he wasn't like doing it for the, you know, the publicity or whatever. Yeah, it was really sweet of him.
Sweet.
And his Christmas card that year was the 12 reindeer with him in his shorts and a Santa hat and a sleigh.
Were they striped shorts?
Yeah, they were. They were striped shorts.
Short shorts with
Really?
stripes.
Yeah. I hope he's okay. He's just kind of disappeared. I hope he's okay.
I think, well, he did come out not too long ago to talk because people were saying that somebody was hiding him and they were just taking money off of what he had earned in the past and stuff like that. And he came out and said, no. He said, I got weary of all the attacks because people used to attack him all the time. And he said, I've done what I did. He didn't gain weight. He's still thin. And he said, I just needed to pull back, which is a shame because he's a kind, good man.
Yeah.
And I don't really care about the other crap.
Well,
You know?
that's one of the sad things about social media is because the trolls sit behind their computer and just say nasty, mean things to people.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad. That's kind of why I left Facebook, because, you know, people who I thought, well, are my friends, but differing points of view, far right, far left, and then fighting on my Facebook. It's just like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are some other excuses that you guys use for not exercising? Like, because I'm just sitting here thinking, like, sometimes I don't go because I don't want to work up a sweat. I don't have time to like work up a sweat and shower before my next, you know, whatever I have to do. So, but
That's your
I don't know.
brain.
That's your lizard brain, she said.
Yeah, it's her awake brain. That, remember, wasn't it you, Angie, who said that some people will do the first thing that they do before their brain wakes up?
Yeah.
Because that's me. I'm always coming up with the reason why I shouldn't, or I can put it off, or something. It's once the brain wakes up, I've got lots of excuses.
Yeah. I think because well, I mean, and part of it is because I have a lot of pain, but like a huge part of it is like I don't have time. When am I going to fit that in? You know, so but
Especially because you've got kids. You ladies on here who have kids. I mean, I'm going over and taking care of my brother's kids every day, and I come home, I'm exhausted. Usually I don't get home until 10:30 or 11. But my husband went over so that I could be here tonight to do this, and then I've got a singles program that I'm doing with my church that I have to go to at 7. But children take up everything. You know, my youngest is 23, and I have forgotten what it takes to have kids, little kids, and their needs and everything. So Angie,
it is,
wow.
Yeah, it is exhausting. But so I know you're spending a lot of time on the soccer field. Walk the soccer field while you're watching the game.
Great idea.
Walk up and down the soccer field. You can still be watching. Just you know you're going to be there for that day. I mean, so start, all right, 3 days a week for 10 minutes, and then slowly increase it just a little bit at a time. Like the following week, 4 days a week for 10 minutes. And even if you're just walking your driveway or your street, just that 10 minutes will spur you to want to do a little bit more. It will really spur you to want to like challenge yourself for another minute or 2 minutes, but just you can find 10 minutes in a day.
Yeah.
And it's for yourself.
That's actually brilliant while your kids are running around the field.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, that's perfect. And that's probably one of the only times a day that I really have, because I mean, I have my 5 kids, but then I also provide childcare for friends for 6 other kids. So I have 11 kids here during the day. One of them's, you know, I mean, they're from 6 months to and up. So, like literally I can't take a walk when I have them, because I can't take 11 kids out on the street or, you know, for a hike or anything. That's scary to me. I'm like, I'll lose somebody. So, but in the evenings when they're all gone, you know, I'm like, oh, I don't have time because I got to rush to soccer and then rush home and then get dinner and bath. But this at the soccer field is perfect. I don't know why I never thought of that.
Great idea, Andrea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's just thinking outside the box just a little bit.
Yeah, I just have to stop making excuses. I like sometimes I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I think it's like so good mentally to get that exercise in. I mean, don't you feel like if you miss it, well, you haven't missed a day, but I remember like when I would miss a day, it would mentally affect me.
So that's this, you know, the transitional system. That's that instant reward is that mental, and it really is a mental thing. Just, it doesn't matter if I'm walking with kids or walking by myself. When I'm walking by myself, I can totally clear my mind. But even when I'm walking with kids, those are the moments that I can actually, all right, so you're walking with your oldest daughter, get her to like talk about things. Even my younger kids, like sometimes I will just pull one of them aside and say, okay, let's go for a walk. And even if it's like 2 times around the block, we're having that conversation that we wouldn't have on our own if we weren't, you know, sometimes you do the car talks. My kids call it the car talk. Mom gave you a car talk.
No, yeah.
Walk talk.
Yeah. No, I love that too. That's a really good idea, because sometimes it's hard for me to just connect with one of my kids at a time, but just taking a quick walk around the cul-de-sac with each of them, you know, okay, it's your turn, you know, just to have that one-on-one time. That's a good idea. See, you're full of great ideas.
I'm glad I can help.
Yeah. This is awesome.
You don't have to do it all at one time either. You can do it a couple times throughout the day.
This is very true. Awesome point, Bev.
Oh, yeah.
I have a trampoline right there. one of those little mini trampolines. And my
Mhm.
dog's taken it over. I can't use it anymore. But before I had a dog that took it over, I would go and go bounce, bounce, and then go to the bathroom. And then bounce, bounce on the way back. And just bounce a little, because to do it for long term was like half killing me. But every little bit counts. That's the whole thing. With the need and the eat, every little bit counts. And we think of, you had to do a triathlon. You don't to get benefits. That's ideal,
Right.
and that'd be a great goal. But any movement you do
It's true.
is beneficial.
I don't think I could ever run, not with my joints, my hips
No.
and my knees. It's like, no, I'm going to stick with my walking.
I saw a meme the other day. I'm gonna see if I can find it because it made me laugh hysterically for way too long. I always tell people I only run if I'm being chased. This one was more like it was I have to find it. It was goodness. It was hysterical. It was like I'm sure I have it, so I'm gonna find it because I know I saved it because it made me laugh. So it was like a full belly laugh. Yeah, here it
They're
is.
good. That's
I ne-
actually good exercising, laughing.
Yeah, it says, I never run with scissors. Those last two words were unnecessary.
I like it.
I was like, that is just, that totally says everything. I'll give it to my husband. Like I said, my husband is an exercise guy. He's a runner. He got a Peloton, which is those bikes that are crazy bikes for me because it would be healthy for me. He didn't get it for me. He totally got it for himself for the days that he's not running. Like, yeah, not a runner. Even with
Do you use
or
the
without it.
Peloton?
That is probably going to be my winter goal. I have used it. I have gone on it. Now that it's back to really nice weather, I haven't been on it at all. But in the winter, I probably will set a goal of some sort for that, and probably some kind of a HIIT, doing some HIIT exercises on there because it is really can be high intensity. But
Yeah.
That's the treadmill. That's more my winter.
yeah, but Angie, if you're like the legs, your leg, well, yeah, if your limbs are, the Peloton is a great. That's what my husband uses it for. His off running days. Off running days. Who runs? That's my mentality. But that's what he uses it for. He loves to have that high intensity. So the Peloton is really good for him.
Yeah, and I'm good.
So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. This was wonderful. Thank you, Adrienne.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I never thought that I would be a runner, and then it just like started. But they say you get like that runner's high. Literally it was like an addiction for me, just like any other. I was replacing, one addiction for another with that. But it can become unhealthy. Like I said, I was like running through pain and like hurting myself, and now I'm paying the price. But yeah, running's not for everybody.
No, I didn't realize that there was a mentality of runners out there before I met my husband.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to do that. No, but he loves to run.
Yeah.
But it is the addiction, the high, and he gets it on the Peloton also. So
yeah, that's good. That's good. We like healthy addictions.
Yeah. Does anybody have any other questions?
Great job, Adrienne. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I appreciate, especially if you started new classes, right?
My class doesn't start until, well, it started yesterday and I have to do some work, but I don't have class on Thursday. So hopefully I'll be able to join you guys again on Thursdays.
Oh, good. Well, thank you. You did an excellent job. Excellent job.
You're welcome.
So we forgot to do any victories. Anybody have a non-scale or scale victory they want to talk about? Your pictures, Adrienne, were amazing. the middle ones were from before, and then the ones on the sides were after. What
Yeah.
a difference.
Oh. See, I don't
Well,
see it,
and-
but I'm glad. I'm
Oh
glad
my
other
goodness,
people do.
Adrian, I was gonna say, even like, I know you haven't been able to come on Thursday nights very much, but your face, like on this video tonight, I'm like, oh my goodness, she's looking so amazing. Like, I don't know, and your hair looks cute like that. And you got like this sun-kissed glow going on,
Oh,
probably from being outside, but yeah,
I was in
you look
Florida.
amazing. Oh yeah,
Thank you.
that's true too. Yeah, you look great.
Thank you. I will. So my non-skill victory is my stepdaughter. When I went down to Florida, she said, like, I haven't seen her and since 3 years, but even be like that was for one day. So it's been, but she's never seen me. My husband's never seen me this week, but my husband is, he just oblivious. But she was like, wow, you really, I saw the pictures, but it doesn't do you any justice. Like, seeing you in person is totally a different, very different, and you look amazing. And for,
Oh,
a stepdaughter to say that is kind of cool.
Yep.
oh, that's awesome. It's always nice when other people start noticing, So that's congratulations on that.
Anybody else? No? There's Gail. You're too late, Gail. Oh, I think she can hear us.
Mhm.
So,
Oh yeah.
who's going to do it next week? Angie?
Wasn't it Deb?
Yeah, I think so.
I should have asked her before. I'll confirm with her, but it's how do you create healthy sleep and unlimited energy?
Good one. Good one.
Yeah. And
Then
then
the
let's see what's after that.
Boy, that's a long one. Think we should take 2 weeks
That
for
one-
that one.
Yeah, maximizing your anti-inflammation protection.
Who wants to do, because 19.
Oh no, that's not a long one. 20 is only a few pages long.
No, 19.
Oh,
19
19.
is from page 380 to 412. So that is 32 pages long. Do you think we should
Yeah.
half and half?
Yeah, we should probably.
Do you think Deb would do both halves?
Yeah, she did that last time.
Okay. And then if we get someone hooked up for maximizing your anti-inflammation protection, anybody want to do that?
I mean, I kind of feel like you should. You know about that stuff, don't you?
Well, I'll do it. I'll do it if nobody else wants to do it, but I don't want to hog
'Cause
the
it's
place up.
Yeah. Well,
See, the one after that, though, is do you need supplements?
oh yeah, you need to do that. But you know what? This one, maximizing your anti-inflammation, it's only like 2 pages long, 3 pages long. Maybe we should put those together.
How much is the supplement?
It's not very long either.
Okay, then
Well,
I'll do
yeah.
that. I'll do those two together then.
Okay.
Okay. Alrighty. So anything else anybody wants to say, ask? Nothing?
Gailey's team won her game
Yay!
19-8. Woo-woo.
Wow.
She was
Who
awesome.
did they play?
They play Wilson on Tuesday night, and we don't know where they're playing at this point yet, but it'll be Tuesday.
Fun.
And then they have a game on Thursday if they win that one. So I'm sorry, I'm being like an absentee member here, but I'm there in spirit, I promise.
Well, you're welcome back anytime you can make it. We
Okay,
won't kick you out because you haven't been around for a while.
I so appreciate that.
Yeah.
I got something to say.
Yeah?
a couple of weeks ago was the first time I joined this class, and
Yeah.
because Mary told me and about it, actually we would talk, and I was like, I joined it, and it made a big impression on me because it was about, you were talking about vision boards and about like positive, creating positivity and stuff like that, and that's something that, like, when I get anxious, I tend to think about like the worst case scenario,
Mm-hmm.
like the best case scenario. So that was kind of like a thing that was different to me. And so I started trying it kind of recently, where I'm like, instead of imagining the worst, I'm like, I'm going to imagine like something good happening in the future. Like I imagine that I'm going to have a good summer, and then I'm going to see the people I love and stuff. And like, I feel like I can create it more, and I feel like stuff around me falls into place when I think like that. And I just wanted to thank Dr. Mary for telling me about this, because that really made an impression on me.
Well, we're really glad that you came in. We're
Thank
glad
you.
that you joined us.
Mhm.
I like everybody. I think everybody's really cool and supportive. And
Yeah. You won't find a greater group of people, I'm telling you. We lucked out. We really lucked out.
awesome. That's awesome. I was talking with my boyfriend right now, and I have a long distance relationship, and we were talking about, he lives in Canada, but not very far from me, but where the Canadian border is closed right now, so he can't come see me.
Mhm.
So I was like, I'm going to create and think positive about the border being open this summer. And then he immediately was like, oh, I have to go, because I think they're talking about, like, on his phone or something, they were talking about opening the border. And I was like, I almost thought he was kidding at first. I was like, are you serious? It ended up not being that, but I have heard rumors that they're going to open it in July. So
Yeah, miracles can still happen, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, Matt, you manifest that. Put it on your vision board. And,
Yeah. I'm going to have
you
to
know.
make one of this.
Yeah.
So as you
And keep that positive thought in your mind, and imagine the emotion that you would feel as you find out that you're going to be able to see him, that the border is going to open, and it will open.
Mhm.
Well, thank you so much, Mary, for telling me about the class, because I really am glad that I joined.
Well, I'm glad you joined too. All right. Well, thank you again, Adrian. I'm Andrea.
Adrian.
I
That
know.
right the first time.
I was doing so good for a long time. But you know what happened is I talked to Adrian. No, I talked to Andrea. I talked to Andrea, and that just got me screwed up. I apologize.
It's
Well, at least you know an Andrea.
I do, and I love her. I
Okay.
absolutely love her. She's a
Andrea was her friend from high school. She called her Adrian, but that's who she meant, is Andrea's her friend. She's told me so many times that I know the story.
You know the story.
oh,
Oh, that's funny.
I'm terrible with that kind of stuff. And don't even get me with Christy, Christine, Krista. I get those all screwed up all the time too. All right. Well, thank you all for coming. And I'm going to put the recording in the thingy after tomorrow morning. So if you missed part of it, Gail, or if you want someone to see it, that they might benefit from this. You know, I love the fact that Dr. A's mission, and I think it on as my own, is to make the world healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so alrighty. Well, thank you all, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Okay.
Good night.